What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Welcome back to Moxy Approved. Man, the state of California has been on the front line of all the other states in America as far as some type of reparations being paid to their residents. All right. Now, this is a real conversation. This conversation is so real that the governor is talking about it, considering this. And this conversation is definitely real. I can prove it to you how real this conversation is. Other races and ethnicities who are not even relevant to this conversation are now starting to come and sprinkle their negativity on it. This past week, a TikToker by the name of The Last Shelly, I believe that's her name, The Last Shelly. I don't care about getting these names right. She put out a TikTok that pretty much went viral. I believe she's a Mexican woman in California, talking about why Black residents there should not get any reparations at all. And there's another group of people out there, surprisingly enough, that are also talking about, don't understand why Black people in the state of California deserve some type of reparations. So before we go into both these videos and I break it down for y'all, please do me one small favor, hit that like button, share this video, make sure you got the notification bell turned all the way up to all. And if you haven't done this yet, apply pressure to that subscribe button. Apply pressure to that subscribe button.
Newsom in California wants to hand out $500 billion in reparations.
Over 40% of the population in California is Latino. You're having people who are the object of persecution pay for the reparations of people who just don't want to work.
Now, let's stop right there. For one, I can't really confirm those statistics. You know why? Because most of them are. Do not get upset, all right? But a lot are illegal. And we don't know how many people are actually in California, okay? Now, you know what that means? That means that those of us who have a social security number, and I'm not hating on illegal immigrants or anything, I'm talking straight up facts. Those of us who have a social security number, we have no choice but to pay taxes, okay? And taxes is very high if you're making over $90,000 in the state of California. So you have to pay high taxes. So the people that are there, that they have no idea that are there, that have no social security number, get health care, get schooling. All right. I'm one person that came to California from the state of New York. You know what I had to pay at a state college in California, Cal State LA? I had to pay out of state tuition. It was like $13,000 a semester, right? I was sitting next to immigrants that I think it's that whole DREAM Act. It was immigrants right next to me in class that didn't have to pay nothing, not a dime.
California is home to over 11 million immigrants from all over the world, not just Latinos. Immigrants who came here with less than nothing, not being able to speak English, who managed to build their wealth without leeching off of other Americans.
Wealth. Let's just be real. The Latin community, specifically Mexicans, I don't think there's a lot of rich millionaire, billionaire Mexicans. Don't get me wrong. There's some Mexicans that have money, but me as somebody that's lived out there for most of my life, I didn't see no big group of Mexicans just dripping in wealth. All right. So she's talking like they came there with nothing, and now there's just a whole bunch of Mexican millionaires going around. As somebody that's lived there, that's not true. And once again, let me put this out there. I'm not talking about all Mexicans, okay? There are some Mexicans that are doing very, very well financially, but it's not like overtaking the state. Let's just be real, all right? Now, another thing I want to add to this is that, you know, the Mexican community, I told y'all about the Mexican community in LA. They can be very, very racist, okay? So I'm not going to take this personal because the Mexican community, not all of them, they have a lot of in-house racism going on. Like the Mexicans that are in Mexico, they don't like the Mexicans that are in America. And a lot of them think that they're white. A lot of them think that they're white. And when you get in these conversations with them, they don't like it because you have to spit reality to them. Especially for this woman, because before I even go any further, I'll tell you, she took this video off her page. This video was taken off, all right? Not even willing to stand by these words, all right? But as you can see, I kept the files.
Until 1848, California belonged to Mexico. Slavery ended in 1860. There was only over 1,500 slaves in California, and their only job was mining. They didn't build California at all.
Now, that's another lie. That's another lie. You can look this up yourself. but I'll do it for you. Los Angeles was started by some Africans. Yes, some Africans. That's why they named the state of California after Caliph, who's an African woman. You see, they talk like this, but then you have to do the research on your own, or they'll continue to talk like this with no type of factual backing.
Look at any construction working team in California, mostly Latinos. Slaves didn't build California. Free people with dreams did.
Now, this is another thing, which what she's saying is really foul. For those of you that know, Mexicans in particular, they did not help with civil rights like that. In fact, a lot of them stayed beneath the border, okay, until laws got passed. Then they started running over the border illegally, all right? Now, I don't have no problem with illegal immigrants, but I do have a problem with the word illegal, okay? There's laws you can actually follow to become an actual citizen, all right? But there's a lot that's going over these borders, through all these dangerous terrains and stuff like that to come over here illegally. Then they come over here, they start talking like her, bashing reparations and stuff like that when, yes, we fought for people such as yourself, Last Chelly, to come to our country. The messed up thing about it is I've been to Mexico. Why not stay in Mexico? Look, Mexico is more beautiful than California. I've been there. Why not work on your own country? And there's nothing that I'm saying about this is discriminatory, because guess what? That's what the Mexicans in Mexico say. Why not stay down there in Mexico? But I will tell you something else. A lot that come up here illegally. You remember in 2008 when we had the whole economic downfall, they went right back home. They went right back home. Okay. So it's funny. You come to a house already built, and then you start talking about how the walls is messed up. Then you're like, who built this house? Yeah, I'm gonna take it there. Okay. And what she said is true. There are a lot of Mexicans that are in the construction. When you go to these construction sites, you know why? The same thing for these people that are picking the avocados and strawberries. Before that community came here, we were doing it. We had the construction jobs. We had the nanny jobs. They came here and gave the rich people a better offer. One of the misnomers is that community is needed for avocados. No, it's not. If the people with these avocados would pay the correct amount of money, shoot, I'd go out there and pick avocados. But they get people that don't have no social security number and pay them under the table to get cheap labor. Okay, but nobody's forcing these people. These people are deciding to do this on their own, man. Look, you can just tear up this whole argument right here.
To mention that Latinos are part Native American, which they were slaves as well, and massacred at 90% of the population. This is probably the most...
That is false. If that's true, then why are you not on one of the Indian grounds? Why are you not getting the payout? Obama, Biden, they all paid out the Indian groups billions of dollars. If that's true, I don't want to hear it on no TikTok video. Why don't you show us the paperwork of you getting paid for that? You know why? Because a lot of those groups was in the actual country of Mexico that sold this stuff off. You lost the war and then you sold your land. Now, since it's become something, because all the free labor that they got, free, not low wage labor, free labor that they got from slaves, you want to come here and talk about what people should or shouldn't get.
Ridiculous bill that Democrats have tried to pass. All Latinos want is citizenship and the ability to work in America.
Oh, she said that in another video that a lot of them aren't illegal immigrants. Well, she says right here that most of them want is citizenship. Well, then follow the law. You can get citizenship.
Americans trying to live off the tax dollars of Latinos who are still persecuted in America to this day.
I'm not trying to live off no dollars and no Latino. Yeah, I'm not gonna go no further on this video because she even knows obviously that she's wrong because she took the video down. There's a lot of things in California that they should be paying for. You know, a lot of people don't even know they took Manhattan Beach from a couple out there that owned Manhattan Beach and made Manhattan Beach safe.
LA County today handed over the deed to Bruce's Beach in Manhattan Beach. The property was taken away from Charles and Willa Bruce nearly a century ago. The county blamed it, or the county claimed it needed the land to create a park, but it sat vacant. And after learning the story a few years ago, Supervisor Janice Hahn worked to get the land back to the Bruce family.
Today we are returning stolen land for the first time, but it will not be the last.
They wanted Manhattan Beach to be safe for Black Americans to go to and be on the beach. They took Manhattan Beach from these people, gave it to the city of Manhattan Beach. And now a lot of y'all know it's in Orange County. It's definitely not friendly to Black Americans. They just now had to award Manhattan Beach back to the rightful owners, the family. You know, the woman is very delusional and she knows it. She took the video down. But she's not the only one to talk crazy like this. Now, this next video I'm about to show you, this was highly awkward. I was surprised to see this, but then I had to look at the history, and I wasn't surprised after I started thinking about the history. Who am I talking about? Australians. These Australians on one of their news channels pretty much is you know, dogging out the whole thought and idea of reparations.
California reparations story. This is
Do
hilarious. There you go.
He calls it hilarious. And this is what I always wonder. Why are Australians worried about American politics? Why are they worried about us? Do you find yourself watching Australian videos, trying to figure out what they got going on over there? I don't. This popped up on my timeline, I'm pretty sure, because of the word reparations.
$223,000 to every person who's the descendant of a slave. This will cost several $1 billion from the California
So
budget,
basically,
which I don't think has any money in it, but anyway.
Now, what I want to know is, why are you, sir, worried about the amount of money this is going to cost the state of California? Oh, I know why. Because you want some of that tax money in form of military help. So China don't blow you out of the water. That's why. But let's let him speak.
So people who were never slaves are going to get all this money from people who've never owned slaves.
I want to say something about her and talk about her looks, but I'm not. She has particular, anyway. These are from people that, let's just be real, they're doing Aboriginals in their country very bad. And they don't want to be accountable for that, all right? Now, what they're going to say is these people are not slaves. I am not a slave. And someone who never owned slaves, they have to pay for it. But for one, what they don't want to talk about, how they promised us 40 acres and a mule through a contract. Through a contract, they offered us 40 acres and a mule.
And now we're going to feel better about it.
Is it racism? Is that it?
Yep.
Into racism.
So very awkward. I can't tell her ethnicity. Let me shut up, man. I ain't trying. I will say this. These people, I understand why these people are upset on these reparations. They don't want that to go where they are. But I also tell you this. The Australians, you know, I wasn't too surprised when I had to look at the history, because they have similar history like 4 other countries. And there's probably more countries than I'm about to mention, but they have something in common with Israel, with South Africa, Australia, and this country here, America. You want to know what they got that's in common? Yeah, all of them came from Europe and took over the natives and claimed that as their land. All of them. And I'll even go further than that. If we had no type of record keeping of the histories of these lands, all 4 of these places, the people there, they would claim that they were the original ones there. In Israel, they're doing that right now. But I'm just going to tell you this. It looks like this country, I'm going to start with California, is trying, at least start talking about doing the right thing. And I wanted to do this video because you're going to see more races and ethnicities that have nothing to do with this conversation do this kind of stuff, put out this kind of hatred. The Australia one, nobody care about what they think. Let's just be real. But the Latin one from her, that's real disrespectful. And all I'm going to say is this. If you don't like it, you could go back home, okay? You can tell us to go back home, but guess what? A lot of us got felonies and stuff and can't even get a passport to leave here because of the system that they got going on. Me, I do go to other places, all right? I've seen other places that are better, and you know what? I might move to another place when this economy falls, just like some of these other people do. Well, anyways, y'all know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved. Yeah, if you pay me enough, I will go pick them avocados myself.